Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. So it's time now to start looking at Oklahoma. Usually I try to save a little bit of content Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to preview the game that's coming up, but we're not here on Thursday and Friday. So it's time to start diving into what LSU and Oklahoma are going to look like on Saturday and what should be a chilly evening in Tiger Stadium, but one that I think is cool. And I've talked about this really since the summer. I have grown up going to games in Tiger Stadium. I have seen Florida come out of that tunnel many times. I've seen Alabama come out of that tunnel many times. Ole Miss, Auburn, many, many times. Even Georgia and Tennessee, you've seen multiple times come out of that tunnel. I've never seen the Oklahoma Sooners and the Sooner Schooner, which I don't think travels. But either way, that team, that program, come out of the South End Zone. And I think it's going to be really cool. I'm one that is not completely anti the conference realignment. I think there are some flaws in it, and Cal playing in the ACC is a little bit ridiculous. But Oklahoma and Texas kind of fit what we're trying to do here. And as I've said many times, like as I look at this, it's not a completely foreign thing for me to drop Auburn off the schedule and add Oklahoma to it. Like, it didn't take me very long to work up some emotions with Texas A&M. That's pretty evident. And I feel like I'll probably get there with Texas and Oklahoma here pretty quickly. Right now, all my Oklahoma memories are phenomenal. I've got memories of January in 2004 that are phenomenal. I've got memories of December 2019, which are phenomenal. I feel pretty good about I even baseball in 2013 with Aaron Nola and Jonathan Gray when Oklahoma came here. Like, my memories of LSU and Oklahoma are pretty good at this point. I'm sure that's going to change at some point over the next decade. And we'll see what happens on Saturday night. But I'm excited to see that program, that uniform, even if the team's not very good this year, go to battle on the field inside Tiger Stadium, one of the iconic venues. Every single week for LouisianaSports.net, I put together a statistically speaking article. I use air quotes there in a big way because really it's just a bunch of numbers. Sometimes I write an opinion column, which uses some colorful language and it reads fairly smoothly, or so I think. This is not that type of piece. This is just throwing a bunch of numbers at you if you like to analyze how things shake up. And every single week, I take the numbers, and if something is really good, a really strong aspect of the team, I put it in green. If it's a very big weakness for the team, I put it in yellow. This is Oklahoma's offensive sheet. If you can't see it, it is real yellow, and there is not a single bit of green on it. This Oklahoma offense has been atrocious from start to finish. Atrocious. I take the yellow to highlight things that are the worst in the league or next to last in the league. Oklahoma, scoring offense, 15th. Total offense, 16th. Yards per carry on the ground, 16th. Passing offense, 16th. Sacks allowed, 16th. Tackles for loss allowed, 15th. Third down conversions, 15th. Yards for play, 16th. And these are not like, oh, that's not very good. This is the worst the conference has to offer. And Oklahoma, it's not just one aspect. Like, it wouldn't be that shocking if Mike Leach was last in the SEC in rushing attempts and rushing yards. Okay, well, that's just not part of what they try to do. It'd be one thing if a Les Miles offense was second to last in passing yards per game. But Mike Leach is also going to probably lead the SEC in completions and lead the SEC in completion percentage. And Les Miles probably going to be pretty good in terms of yards per carry and rushing offense. There's a give and take there. But if you notice as I run through those, total offense is the worst. Scoring offense is second to worst. Yards per carry on the ground, the worst. Passing offense, the worst. Sacks allowed, that's in the passing game, the worst. Tackles for loss allowed, that's the running game, second to worst. It's every aspect of what they're trying to accomplish offensively has been an abject failure. And they won the game on Saturday, and they couldn't complete a pass. They threw for 68 yards. Jackson Arnold completed 11 passes. They needed Jalen Milroe to give out interceptions like Halloween candy for them to even do anything offensively. And they held Alabama to 3 points, and we'll talk about that because this is the defensive sheet, and it does have some green on it. But the offense has just been awful. and they've shuffled quarterbacks, and they fired their coordinator, and they're trying to figure out some way to move the ball here down the stretch. And it hasn't been overly successful, clearly. Brian Kelly was trying to lob compliments at Oklahoma yesterday, as coaches do in that ridiculous opening monologue for a press conference, where you talk about how great the opposing team is, even if they're the worst in the league at everything on offense. And Kelly said they're very heavy on ball control.
They made a change at the offensive coordinator position earlier in the year, and it really changed the dynamics of the offense. The offense is now, it was averaging close to 85, 90 plays a game. I think they've had 62 plays their last 2 games. So it is a ball control offense. Jackson Arnold is an outstanding quarterback. He can throw it extremely well, but this is now much more about controlling the football, running the football, playing with physicality. They've got perimeter skill, but I think it's centered around much more of a run-centric quarterback run and take care of the football.
Well, clearly they attempted to do that. They ran Jackson Arnold 25 times in the game back on Saturday. I would not suggest that it was some sort of a clinic on the ground that Oklahoma put on against Alabama. Now, Bama's got a pretty good defensive front. LSU did not have much success running the ball. But Oklahoma, they ran it for 5 yards a carry. They just ran it a ton. And that's really what you're going to see in this game on Saturday, Oklahoma do, because they don't have another gear. They don't have the ability to get back there and throw it. Brian Kelly said there that Jackson Arnold is a great quarterback. He can really throw it. That's not true. He's not a great quarterback. He can't really throw it. There's no body of work in Jackson Arnold's time as the starter at Oklahoma this year that suggests he's great. None. This is a team that really struggles to throw the ball, and part of that is because they've been down 4 wide receivers. That hurts big time. But you're also talking about an offense that's last in the SEC in yards per play, that's second to last in third down conversions, and it's not like they're keeping the ball a ton. They're 12th in the SEC in time of possession. Again, I understand they've tried to make a philosophical change, but since they've fired Seth Littrell, it's not a dominant effort in terms of offense. They scored 23 points on Missouri. They scored 14 points on Ole Miss. So, it's not great. You can try to spin it as best you can, but it's not great. This is Kelly One talking about Jackson Arnold's legs against Alabama.
They ran the ball extremely well this past weekend. Jackson Arnold, I think, is an outstanding quarterback. He can throw it, but rushed for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. Rushed for 131 yards on 25 carries. So, I think everybody here knows our history with the quarterbacks that run the football. That will be a challenge for us.
And I'm sure that they're going to line it up and try to run with Jackson Arnold. Now, again, he's 6'1", 211 pounds. And they got a backup quarterback in Hawkins that's clearly able to show up and run the ball too. I don't think that Oklahoma has turned over a new leaf offensively, and they're just going to be able to be a power run game that controls LSU and Alabama start to finish. What I think is that they're going to try to run the ball a lot on Saturday. And LSU knows that that's coming. And they knew it was coming against Alabama, and they couldn't do anything about it. They knew it was coming against Vanderbilt, and they could do something about it. We'll see which one of LSU shows up on Saturday. If it's the defense that played assignment football and made tackles against Vanderbilt with the option attack they were trying to show, and they played great on third down, well, I think you'll be in good shape. If it's the team that could not do anything against the power running style of Jalen Milroe that turned into a speed running style when he got to the second level, well, you've got big problems. So that's key number one in this matchup for sure, is this new style of play that Oklahoma is going to try to adopt and whether or not LSU can respond to it. It's nothing new. The same thing we've talked about for 3 weeks. We'll see what LSU can do coming up on Saturday as Oklahoma comes to Tiger Stadium for the first time as a member of the Southeastern Conference. Actually, for the first time ever. LSU and Oklahoma have only played in 3 bowl games to this point. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button. Leave your comments below and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.